Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have created one of the method as a forget password, and also I have created one of the custom requests. So that is our forget request, right? So into the custom request, I didn't add anything. So now I want to add one of the validation in our this request, and that is our forget request, right? So into the forget request, first of all, we have to return it. We have to return it as a true. Okay, we have to return it as a true. And in our roles, so into the rules area, I want to do, and that will be only one field, and one field will be as email. So I use that email, and email I want to make it as a required. Okay, I make it simply as a required. Okay, that will be as a required. So now I simply add that as a role. So that is our validation, and validation field as the email field. So which is totally fine. So now I want to insert it and make sure you return this as a true, rather than it will be not work. So now in our forget, so to the forget controller here in our try, so to the try area, now I want to insert this data. So better before I have actually used that you can say before I am using that eloquent ORM. So if you want to use that eloquent ORM, you can insert it. So right now I want to better use the query builder. So if you use that query builder, I have already loaded the DB, right? So now with this DB, I want to insert it. So that is will be as a DB, and then table. And our table right now, it should be insert in our, if you go to our user, into the user, that is also by default when you install the passport, you can see there is a passport reset. So here it should be actually pass that email, the token, and the creators, right? So that is that email and the token. So now I want to copy it. So that will be our database table field. Here I copy it. So right now I want to insert it in here with the single quote. That is our password reset. Okay. So to the password reset area, I want to insert, and then here I want to insert two field, right? One is the email, another is the token. So I want to use that first of all email, and also I check that email with our custom request. So email will be as a required, right? So now email will be what? Email will be, I have already take our requested email, take that things with this variable, so that will be our email. Okay, and also I want to pass the token. So I take another one and a variable as a token, and our token will be the same. I have already generated one of the random token, take the things with this variable. Here I simply pass it, right friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. So after that is ended. So I put that semicolon, and now when it should be insert this data, that means when it should be insert that email, when it should be insert that token, then I want to send one of the mail. This mail I want to send it in our this area. Okay, that means in our this mail trap. So if you want to send it, is very easy. First of all, I want to create one of the mail, and that means here I name it as a PHP artisan, and then make. So now you will be able to understand how to send some of the mail. So now I use that as a make mail, and I want to create one of the mail as a forget mail. Okay, forget mail. So this type of one of the mail I want to use. So now click as a enter. So now you can see our mail created successfully. So now if you go your project, into the project in our this position, you can see there is our HTTP, that is another one as a mail. Okay, so now into the mail I have created another new mail as a forget mail, right? So now we are able to access it. So I want to do here, I want to send this mail. I want to send this mail as a mail. Okay, that is a mail function. With this mail I want to send to our which one, I want to send it to this email. I want to send this email here, and also I want to pass that as a send, and send our, if I will actually created some of the template. So right now there is a new, and I have already created our mail name as a forget mail, right? So that will be as a forget and then mail. Okay, so that will be as a forget mail. And here I also want to pass out this token. Okay, so into the mail area I want to pass this token, which is totally perfect. So here I want better put some of the note for you, that is for the mail sent to user. Okay, so that is a mail sent to the user. Perfect. So now we have to load our this mail, and also we have to load this forget mail. So now in here first of all I want to use as a mail. Okay, make sure you add it, then also use. So that is our mail is in our app, into the app, and then the mail folder, and then that is our forget mail. So I want to use it as a first of all app, and then the backslash. How much easy it is, you can see there is a step-by-step process. You just simply have to flow it. So that is in our app and the mail, and then that is our forget mail. So I use that forget. Okay, forget mail. So that is our forget mail. Perfect. So make sure you load both of this. So now that is our forget mail. I want to use it. So here that is our forget mail, and here I pass another token. Okay, friend. So when it should be passed this token, I want to do and to show some of the message. That means I want to return some of the message as a return, and the return response. So return response here I want to pass. I want to pass simple one of the message. So that will be as a message. Okay, that will be as a message, and this message will be as a whatever you actually choose. Right now I pass it as a reset. Okay, reset password mail send on your email. Okay, so this type of one of the message it should be display, and here I want to do that is will be one of the success type. So I want to update that status code as a 200. Okay, I make it as a 200, and else it should be if we get any error in our this try area, it should be catch it, and it should be display this message. Perfect. So now friend, here now I saying this in our forget email. So now we have to work in our this forget email, that means in our mail, and that is our forget email, right? So from here I pass one of the token, right? So first of all we have to declare one of the property. So here we have to load it. So that is in our here I want to do and to create another property as a public, and public, and then our this token. Okay, that is our token. So I simply take it with I just simply declared one of the property as a with this public, and then in our constructor. So as I told you before friend, constructor is one of the function when this class will be loaded. First of all this constructor will be loaded. Okay, and after that rest of all that method will be executed. So for the reasons in our constructor area, into the constructor area I simply pass this token. Okay, I pass it, and now I want to do and to access it. So if you want to access it, that will be as a this. With this I want to use that data. So with this data I want to do and to pass our this token. So that will be our this token. Okay, so now if you want to access this token, you can access it with this data, right friend? So now I want to create one of the template view page. So that means here when you should be getting some of the email, so this email here I want to load one of the template. So right now I want to use very simple one of the template. You can also create some of the template. There are a lot of the things you will get it from to the Google, that is the email template. If you search with the email template, you will get it a lot of the resource. So right now a main functionality I want to share with you. Okay, so there is a build, and into the build area first of all I want to do and to pass our this data. So here better I copy it. I want to do here and to first of all add this, that is this data. If you want to access it, better I want to take it with one of the variable. Okay, I want to take one of the variable as a data. Okay, or whatever name actually you choose. Right now I take this data and I take it with this variable. Okay friend, so now return one of the view page. Okay, so here I want to create one of the view page. Better in our view, if you go to that is in our resources, into the resources, that is a view, right? So into the view area I want to do and to create one of the folder. Better here I want to create one of the folder as a mail. Okay, I name it as a mail, and into the mail area I want to create one of the file as a forget. Okay, I want to create this type of one of the file. So now I simply first of all create it. That will be one of the mail folder. So here in our view, that is our view, here I want to create one of the folder as a mail, and into the mail folder I want to create one of the file as a forget. So that will be one of the blade file. Right now I open it, click as a save as, and I name it as a forget.blade.php. So that will be our this page. Perfect. So now in our that is our mail, and then forget, here I want to do and to pass out this data. Okay, that means token data. So here I simply pass it with the, if you want to pass it, you have to pass it with the compact, right? So now with this compact I want to simply pass this variable data as a data. Okay, and also if you want to pass that mail subject, you can also pass it. So if you want to pass this, then only you have to use that as a subject. Okay, this is subject. So subject, our mail subject will be as a password reset link. Okay, and also if you want to pass that from mail, you can also pass it from to this position. After that, this. Okay, so after that, this I want to pass another one as a from. That is from where actually that email will be sent. You can also pass it like here. Before, I have already used it in our .env file, so I want to also, you can pass it from to this position. I make it as a support @easylearningbd.com. okay, so it should be actually sent from to this position. That's a view mail forget. Here I pass our data, so that is our one of the blade file, and then I compact it into the data area. In our subject, our mail subject will be as a password reset link. Okay, so now in our forget password, that means this blade page. So now go to our blade page. So as I told you, friend, you will get a lot of the template for create your attractive some of the templates. So now I want to use on simple on the HTML tag, and our title will be as a forget. Okay, forget password. So that will be as a forget password, and into the body area, I want to put some of the link as a change. Okay, change your password. So here I want to add one of the href. Sorry, I want to add one of the href, and then into the href area it should be as a click here. Okay, so this type of, or you can also use it to hi your name something. Okay, so that is our change password. Better I want to put some of the bracket on here. Okay, so I don't know, I don't want to actually create some of the designs. Design is totally depends on you. So now also after that I want to take another bracket, and then I also want to pass that our pin code, right? That means that is actually our token, so I name it as a pin code. And pin code I have already passed it from here with this data, right? So with this data I have passed it, we compact it in our forget password. So that is actually our token. You can see I have already created that property as a token. So that is our token. I take the things with this as a this data. So this data I take it with this variable, I change it to the token to the data. So now that is actually our data. Okay, so now I want to display this data. So that means automatically this data will be generated, right? So in our forget controller, if you go, you can see it's generated one of the random data, that means random token data. So I name it as a data. So now I want to display, that means this data I want to take it in here. Okay, so with this dollar I want to simply display it. Perfect. Okay friends, so now that's all you have to do. And also when you click as a click here, where exactly that will be redirected. So friend, for the font we'll use that React.js. So for the React.js by default, the server URL by default for the React.js server URL I want to use it in here. So that will be as a HTTP. Okay, HTTP, and then into the HTTP area I want to that is default one of the link. When I install that React.js, then it will be very clear to you. So that will be the local host. Okay, local host, and that is a port name as a 3000. Okay, so that is a 3000. That is a default one. If you want to change this port, you can change it. So that will be as a this one, and then the reset. Okay, I name it as a reset. So that is, it will be as a reset, and into the reset area also here I want to pass our this pin code. Okay, so that will be also pass this pin code. So pin code will be our this data. Okay, so when I actually created that reset option, then everything will be more clear to you. So that is for our reset option. Okay, so now that is a forget password, so it should be redirected to our change password page with this reset. So that is a local host, and then that is our reset, and into the reset area here which will be as a data, and click here. Perfect. So friend, that's all you have to do. I hope every line is very much clear to you. So friend, here I have already done it. So now I want to check it. Okay, so I want to check it with the Postman. Now click as a save all, and now go to our Postman. So into this Postman I want to create one of the new one. So first of all, that will be the same, but I copy it and here I paste it. That is our port and API and our route name. If you go to a route name for the forget password, I have created as a forget password, so I copy it. So that will be, and also in our mail is now empty. So now I want to check it. Okay, so that will be as the API and then the forget password, and that will be one of the post method. Because of all, if you go there, you can see that is one of the post method, right? So now if everything okay, it should be work. So into the here I want to go to that head. Okay, that means the header. So into the header there is a body. So to the body area, if you go to that form data, so now into the form data, I want to take one field only. So one field will be as a only email, right? So into the email area, I have already checked it. Now I want to check everything. So first of all, I want to put inappropriate another email address. So in our database, they have already email field. So in our email, if you go to that, better go to that our user table. Into the user table, I have already registered one of the user as the email, right? That is into the email, there is a kazi@gmail.com. So now I want to check with the different name. Is appropriate or this validation working or not. So now I name it as a khan@gmail.com. So now that is not exist. So now that should be display our message. Which one? Now it should be display our this message as email invalid, right friends? If it does not exist, then it will be display this mail. So I just simply check it. So there is a forget password, post method, and there is a feed. Now click as a send. So now it's getting some of the error as a syntax error, unexpected this in forget controller.php, right? So in line 18. So into the line 18 here, you can see I'm using that comma. That will be obviously as a semicolon, right? So that will be as a semicolon. And now let's check this out. As I told you, when I actually face some of the issues, automatically now we'll get it. So now I want to check it everything in our this area, that means in our postman. Okay, so now I solve it. So now let's check this out. I want to hit it again. I click as a send. Yes, you can see now that is our appropriate message as invalid email. That means email invalid. That means that is not exist in our database. This table field as email right now there is a kazi@gmail.com. So that is not match. For the reasons you can see it's now showing our this message as email invalid. So here I simply put these conditions. Remember, that means everything is great. So if now I want to put that appropriate email address, now I want to reset it. So now first of all it will be created one of the token. So now everything will be more clear. Right now I want to use our existing one as a kazi@gmail.com. So here I want to use it as a kazi. Okay, kazi@gmail.com. So if everything okay, it should be now send this email to this kazi@gmail.com. That means in our mail trap it should be send this mail, right? And also it should be show now this message as a reset password mail to send your email. So if everything okay, it should first of all it should be send this mail, and then it should be response this message. Now let's check this out. I use that appropriate email address as a kazi@gmail.com, which is already exist in our user table. Now click as a send. So now again another error, another error in our unexpected this in our 14 as a forget mail.php. So into the forget mail in our line 24, what exactly I have done here. So that is a forget mail. Into the forget mail, in line 24. So here you can see I didn't use that semicolon. Okay, so here I use it, but here I didn't use it in here. So that should be actually one of the errors. So now you can see that is like I miss it. So now it's okay. Now click as a save all again, and I want to check it again. So now I want to check it again as actually send this request again. Yes, you can see friend, now that is our appropriate message as a reset password mail sent on your email. That means that is actually the email, right? So now everything will be more clear to you. So now if you go to that mail trap, yes, you can see that is our password reset link. If you open it, yes, you can see it's now showing as a hi, and change your password link in here, and also is passed this token. So this token is automatically now generated, right friend? So you can see everything. I hope every step is very clear to you right now. So that is our token. So this token, I simply take it with this token and I insert this as an email and also pass that as a token, right? So in our reset, password reset, if you go to our password reset here, if you click as a browse, yes, you can see it's now inserted to why actually it's inserted to, they have one mail. Maybe I actually push it for the 2 time, right? First of all, they have some of the error for the reasons actually is not getting it. So now that is actually for the reasons it's inserted 2 of this, but our last one, which is totally fine, that is a 72738. That means this one. Okay. So I want to do better. I want to go to the structure. From here, I want to add another field for the ID actually. So right now I want to do better. I want to add another one. Before beginning the table, I click as a go. Now I want to add another one as a ID. Okay, ID will be as an integer, and also I want to make it as a auto incremented. Then that will be better. Okay, now click as a save. So now if you go to the browse, so you can see now that is our ID 1, the 2. So now this one will be not needed. So I want to delete it. So before, when I send it, they have some of the error for the reasons actually inserted both of these. Okay. So now perfect. So now that is actually our token, and in our mail, you can see that is actually passed this token as a 72738. So I simply pass it. So it's inserted 2 of this data. That means that is also appropriate. In our password reset, it's inserted that email address and that token. So it's inserted this email address as a kazi@gmail.com, and also it's inserted the token, right? And also you can see after that it should be send this email to our this forget email with the token. So then that will be display this message, which is totally fine. And also you can do the catch. You can see for the reasons here I'm actually using that catch. So for this catch I getting that error, and also it's notified where exactly your error is located, right? So now for the reasons it's very helpful. So now also our this portion is working, and in our forget email, that means in our forget email here, I first of all create one of the token. That means I create one of the property as a token, and then I have access it. Okay, so in our constructor here I pass it, and if you want to access it, I just simply access it with this data, and that is our token. So now I want to change it again, and I name it as this data. I take the things with this data, simply pass that from email address. So now if you want to check it or from email, if you go, you can see from email as a support@easylearningbd.com, and to email our this existing email, right? That is a kazi@gmail.com. Perfect. And also here I pass that our this token that I pass it with this compact in our forget mail, and our subject as a password reset link. So if you go, you can see our subject as a password reset link. I hope, friend, everything is very clear. So now in our change password, that is our template. Here I didn't design any template. It's very easy. One of the things I'm actually using it in here. So in our forget, that is a blade. So into the blade area, our title, hi, and then change your password. So that is our link. So when I discuss about that React founding, then we'll actually reset it. Okay, and then our pin code, you can see that is our data. So that is our data. Perfect. I hope, friend, every line is very much clear to you. And also I have checked it, so everything is working great in here. So now I want to reset it. Okay, that means I want to reset this password. So how can reset this password? In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So friend, as I told you, here we are creating the custom authentications, right? So for the custom authentication, so logging will be needed, the register will be needed, the forget password, the reset password, and the logout, right? So that is all that functionality for the authentication. So now we are creating it. So I hope you enjoy it very much. So step by step, everything will be more clear to you. So now in our next video, I want to discuss about that reset password option. How can reset your password? I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.